Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Here's the Scenario podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney. Being joined with me, as always,
Brendan Sagalow, as well as...
the laying on the ground across the room, Mike Cannon.
Because,
Dude. Oh,
you poor thing.
there was no exaggerate. Like, that was not hyperbole. That was not exaggeration. That caught me in the Death Star spot of
The
my
worst
fucking
part
knee.
of the fucking knee.
Drilled it, dude. It was like a shot of electricity through my patella up to my ear. Like, I felt it here.
And you already have shitty knees. Anyway, hey, everybody.
This is a scenario-based podcast. We answer your hypotheticals, what-ifs, all your questions. This is a comedy obstacle course that you help create. So send us all of your scenarios to our Instagram at ScenarioPod, or just you can even email us. Here's the scenario.com. Or wait, I think it's go to here's the scenario.com. That's where you can get all the contact info. Yeah.
Or if you're feeling frisky and you're still on Instagram and not moved over to the new wave of TikTok, follow our Instagram and send us DMs of any questions you have, and we will answer them.
That's right. We got a bunch, right? Let's just get right into them.
We actually don't have a bunch, but we do have enough, I think.
And we have the big book of hey.
And we have the backup big book of if. Also,
Bible.
check out the Patreon.
Patreon.com/scenariopod. We'll pitch it later.
We'll pitch it later. This first question comes from Rob Garrulus.
Oh.
And I think it's a great first question. Your poo is impacted. Which of your male friends do you ask to manually remove it, and why?
You
then?
know, sometimes we should have, some podcasts have pre-production meetings where they discuss things and like talk about like what would be the best for the internet in terms of not destroying any chances of the YouTube not burying this in the first 5 minutes.
But poo is not bad.
Yeah, but there's no way.
And also, I cursed a half a second in when I yelped like a dog.
Oh, but that wasn't the start of the show.
We were going to show
for
that
the
on
Patreon.
the Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we started it normally, and then you came running in.
Well, then either way, poo is scientific. I mean, there's plenty of potty training videos.
True,
on
but
YouTube.
here's the other side of that is we can't really talk about poo without mentioning like
all that comes with
all
it.
that comes with it.
Well, let's try to be as clean as possible.
But what's
the question?
What a comedic exercise. I already know
That's so
who my
true.
friend I would ask, and it doesn't even leave this room. It's Feeney.
What's the
hands
question?
down. It's who would help
He's got the
take
best
out an
point in his
impacted
fingers.
bit of poo from you. So
Your poo is impacted. Which of
Is
your
that the right
male
word?
friends do you
impacted? Or is
Yeah.
it yeah.
impacted?
Which means lodged and just can't get out. It's never been anyone else. What are you gonna jimmy one of those in there? There's
No,
no
your
way.
Jones sausage
There's no way.
fingers?
Yeah,
No
your
way.
snowman fingers.
I actually have pretty thin fingers
For who?
for me.
Yeah, for only you.
For me,
Yeah.
I'm losing
Yours
weight
are
in my
like,
fingies.
dude, your fingers are like if the letter 8 had one more circle.
Like a snowman.
Man,
Like
I
little
don't
snowmen?
know. Quick drink of the water. Back to your regularly scheduled
I
program.
think somebody laughed at that. Somebody out there.
Somebody
Yeah.
laughed, noticed we weren't
Yeah.
laughing, and then went, oh.
Do you know what I like to do is when I bomb on podcasts, I like to picture the like Martin Shkreli watching Gary, what's his tits on forget it. Forget it. I thought you'd
You know
jump
what I
in and
doubled
help
down?
me. Freaks and
Gary
Geeks,
who?
Gary Sheffield.
But Martin-
no,
You said
what is
Martin
his name?
Shkreli,
Gary
the guy
Martin
from...
Shkreli from Freaks and Geeks.
Watching.
No, Martin
No,
Shkreli.
you're,
is
yeah,
the
you're
AIDS
thinking
film
of the...
guy.
You're thinking of
That's
the...
right.
That's why
That's
it didn't
why
make
we're
any sense.
confused.
Martin Whatevies from
Freaks
the
and Geeks,
Apatow.
watching
Gary
Gary Shandling.
Not Sheffield. Gary Shandling. I like to picture that version of that, like, you know, whoever's listening to this laughing
that.
by themselves.
I
in their
get that.
room.
I also picture that.
While eating cereal,
While
milk
eating
spilling out of their face.
just shooting out of the corners of their mouth.
Problem with that theory, though, is, and I don't want to, it's a good theory, but in that scene,
Don't ever patronize me
I'm not
like you're more of
patronizing.
an adult than me.
I'm not
putting out your
patronizing.
hand like this as the they're there, boy.
I'm trying to be a friend.
Uh-huh.
So...
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a friend. Just in that scene, Gary Shandling is doing well on the show. So,
And then there was whatever you were
drink of
doing.
the water.
Yeah. So there was Gary, and then there was what you were doing.
Right.
And so,
But I'm
There was a
doing well
difference.
for the one person that's enjoying it.
Well,
You understand.
I
It's all
think Martin
subjective.
might have been laughing because the crowd was into it.
No, he
was a
connected
comedy
on a
nerd.
personal.
Yeah.
Judd Apatow
Yeah.
says that scene is the most him he's put in
Oh,
something.
I wonder. How did he? the nerd alone watching
That
that's
didn't
obsessed
feel-
with Gary Shandling. How did he ever bridge that gap of where he's like, guys, actually, this is me.
Yeah, it's like we all knew. We've been calling Martin Judd all day just to get him into it.
Yeah.
So if my poo is impacted,
Yeah. Oh, it's Feeney. Because
It's
look at
Feeney.
these
Look at his-
fingers.
yeah, he's got
they
witch
look
fingers.
like shoe
They're pretty
horns.
good fingers.
You know what
Not
I mean?
witch
They look
fingers.
like they're built to just wedge in by a rock and lever something out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
won't be doing that though because I don't trust you have terrible like diarrhea. So the second it gets
No.
lodged, it's gonna be bad.
That's not true.
it's gonna be like
you constantly talk about it.
no.
What?
you do constantly mention that you have
Do I?
diarrhea.
All the time.
Diarrhea.
Like on
No,
a
when I
regular-
was drinking, I had
That's true.
uncontrollable bowel stuff where it was like, I mean, at one point it'd be a spray hose and then all of a sudden a diamond would follow. It like made no sense. The consistency made no sense.
Yeah.
And now that I'm not drinking, it's much more controlled. I have way less explosive diarrhea and I'm more kind of like, soft, healthy.
Yeah. I do
Al dente.
remember when you were drinking, diarrhea was a big talking piece.
When I was drinking diarrhea.
It was a big part of your personality back then. Was regularly mentioning it as much as possible.
I'm gonna fight you today.
That's
I'm
not
gonna
what I
fi-
meant.
I'm gonna
That's
fist
not what
fight
I
you,
meant.
dude.
I swear
I'm
to
gonna
God.
fist fight you.
I swear to God.
Wow, we've been getting along lately too. It's over.
I know.
It's
We've been
over.
best friends
Yeah,
lately.
It's over.
No, it's Feeney that's.
Don't try to turn me
poisoning
against him.
your
I like him. I'm
Yeah.
against you.
Here's the thing I think that really is that I just say things, and a lot of the time it is offending people.
And I just
But
take
I
no
s-
responsibility
That's
for
right.
my actions
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get mad at you for
But the point is,
reacting
everyone,
appropriately.
well, nobody sees it because I'm very genuine. The things I'm saying are supposed to be nice, but then you have fucking.
That's not endearing.
You have fucking.
to be like, I'm just being me.
This guy
just
going,
being
"Wait,
an
oh, this
asshole.
dude means
But to
this."
constantly miscommunicate your intent makes you a dickhead.
Yeah,
Like,
And he's
that's what that
And
is.
then he plays it off as this guise of no, I'm just. This is me. This is genuinely who I am, and people love that I am just who I am. And you're like, you're a
do.
dick.
I need to stop this for 1 second. I glanced at Nicole to see if she was having a good time, and she was like,
I know. You look like Annabelle the doll. With how,
Is that
how
high-pitched
still you were.
wearing coming across?
Oh,
"Are we coming in hot?"
Are we all
Two of you
silent?
are.
Is it me?
Go ahead and turn Brendan way
Is
down.
it me? I'm on one.
Brendan scream. I gotta say this to Brendan. I don't know if you know this, and I don't think it's your fault. I think you might have like a slight hearing issue. You have very bad inside voice. You were screaming on the subway when we were on the subway together.
Oh, really?
Like everybody on the train was looking at us. He was
Oh,
like,
really?
he walked on the train with outdoor voice and never transitioned. So he's
Yeah.
like,
I
think I'm
so
just
I'm
like-
at the show and Jay's talking to me and I'm killing. And then meanwhile, I'm killing. And then meanwhile, Millhouse forgets the name of our podcast. He's like, scream.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah,
like,
let's-
what is
let's
happening?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. That's just me being a king, I think. That's just me being.
What?
That's a dick. That's again a dick. But I think you.
Yeah,
I think
God
you've
damn
just
it.
listened.
damn
I
it.
want to give Brendan credit and give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that it's not him being like a narcissistic asshole and think that you just blast music so loud that your ears
Probably.
are probably.
Do you
a
know how
little
many
fucked up.
times a day my cell phone tells me to put the music
Me
down?
too. Me
What do you
too.
mean?
My cell phone is going. It has a little notification that goes, "You should probably put the music down. You've been listening very loud all day."
Wow, and you
Yeah.
have it with headphones in too.
And I just ignore it.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Or Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it always says that. I don't
Bluetooth
care.
speakers is different
What
though
does it
because
know?
you're not like it's not just jamming
Yeah.
into your ear.
Yeah, I think it's fine for the
Oh
most part.
God.
I definitely remember hearing I definitely remember playing. It almost used to be a source of pride to play your head like when it was like those
Yeah.
over the ear
Oh, and you
headphones
can
in
fucking
high
hear
school to play them like as loud as
Yeah.
possible.
It's like driving.
Yeah.
You want your system to thump.
yeah.
So
So
I
it was.
I
You want
like
your
walking
Discman.
down the street dancing.
What was
you
the
know?
Discman with the bump proof, or what was that called? The
Shockproof.
Shockproof.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah,
40-second
anti-skip.
shockproof. Yeah.
Anti-skip,
Oh,
dude.
anti-skip.
I remember the first one I
Those
had
were
was
so
a
brutal.
3-second anti-skip.
Yeah.
You had to walk around like this. It was like holding a mini toaster, but
Yeah. Wow. I remember feeling very cool and autonomous whenever I could like slip those on in the back seat of the car and not have to listen to whatever horse shit my
it's the
parents were
best.
playing.
I remember in driver's ed just being like, when there was like 4 of us in the car, and when it wasn't my turn to drive, I'm just looking out the window, just fucking listening to music and enjoying my life. And
Oh, you went with other kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was our
I had a full car too.
yeah.
And I did it with one of my best friends at the time. And we killed the car. We were making everybody laugh. It was great.
Your stories suck.
Yeah,
No, they
yeah.
don't.
I win.
Yeah. I'm the hero.
Well, I think we can all agree I have plenty of stories where I'm far from the hero. And
Wow,
more
I'm
of
kidding, Mr. Take It Personal. Jesus Christ.
Mr. Take It Personal.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, now I've lost.
What's the next question?
Now I've been offended. Well, to answer the question, definitely Feeney, because he's like salad fingers.
Salad Toms.
Salad?
Yeah,
Salad
Toms.
fingers. Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
No,
Salad
there
Toms?
was a. Do you know what I'm
Salad
talking about,
fingers.
Nicole? Because you seem like an internet person. There was this viral video of this really creepy monster that had pointy finger. Damn! I wish we were in the studio so you could bring it up, but we're not. So never mind. Next question comes from Jennifer Decoris.
Oh, that kind of.
Thank you for hanging out. Good morning, boys. Happy New Year to you and your fams. I was just curious, have you ever said or posted something where the internet mob came after you? P.S. I really enjoyed Cannon and Sags opening the last pod by singing Be Prepared. It was lovely. Well, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer, because there was a lot of messages to the contrary of like, how many times are you guys going to sing this fucking song?
Yeah, I know.
Mike,
I know.
Mike definitely has been attacked by the anti-mutilation mob hard.
You've been
Oh
attacked?
yeah, that's right. I had to pull a video. Because I did that circumcision as mutilation joke.
yeah,
Just what
yeah.
Doug Smith now is getting railed.
I know. And it's like they're so like the way that they attack you is very disturbing because they're super graphic about your like they're basically talking about your son's dick in response.
And they're saying you're like raping a doctor's
When it's-
raping your child.
Yeah, when it's like, dude, the only people here that are seemingly like ensconced in child dick are you guys. Like it seems like you can't let it go.
I think those are people that just had a botched circumcision.
It's either botched or they were molested. Like there's a lot of very clear trauma that comes along with that side. Granted, I like kind of like I say in the bit, like I understand and kind of agree with what they say, but I'm also like I think the benefits outweigh that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like I'm not fucking taking a rock to this kid's dick and letting the bacteria clean it afterwards. It's like it happens in a hospital.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
frankly, every doctor and nurse was
Taking
like,
a
you
rock.
should do it.
Yeah.
Every single one of them was like, yeah, of course.
I'm not using my mouth to do it.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got attacked hard for that.
Yeah, I also got
And
attacked.
you took the video down?
I renamed it and put it up on YouTube just because it was genuinely like hurting.
And you took it down on didn't you take it down on
Twitter.
no, there was what was the one that had like 500,000 views on Instagram you took down?
Oh, that was when I threatened to. No, when I did, I told a story about backing my car into a blue-haired woman
Yeah.
who refused to get out of a spot because she was saving it for a friend, like who was 16 blocks away and
Yeah.
nowhere to be found. And I was
Sorry,
like,
this is New
"That's
York
not-
City."
Yeah, that's just not how this city works. That's back up on my YouTube though, if you want to see that. But it had like 550,000 views, and then it very clearly was responsible for the throttling of my account.
Oh my god.
Oh, and I got taken, when Shane got fired, I just, you have your stance, whatever. I don't care. What really, truly bothered me about it was like all the comedians acting as if it was a victory for them personally.
Yeah.
Like how Shane getting fired somehow moved them up one
Yeah.
spot in
Yeah.
the, quest to get SNL. And it's like, no, you're not up for it.
Yeah.
Like you're not. Like, and I just wrote something similar to that. And just, one unibrow dead tooth female comedian in particular
Yeah.
kind of quote tweeted me and decided to say some shit. And it's just like, and then it kind of kept going.
I remember hopping on that one when she
You
retweeted you, and I was like, "You fucking." So,
it doesn't even
and
matter.
now it's like, who cares?
It doesn't matter. Like the fact of the matter is that is so clearly forgotten in both our lives, her life, I'm sure, everybody's life, where it's like it just lasts for a few days and then you're done.
I think getting fucking and it's never happened to me, but I think getting like attacked by a mob online can only do good things for
Brendan
you.
has only been uplifted by
Yeah,
a mom
yeah.
for getting attacked by a celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. I literally can't do anything wrong.
Yeah. It's-
4-inch dick. Everybody's like, I can't believe he admitted that. Every
yeah.
fucking eunuch
Yeah,
in
let's
America is
let him up before he realizes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard fall, but
Yeah, but
they're
that's
bumping
also
me up.
that's also not accurate because it actually has direct consequences as he just explained. It actually has a directly negative effect on his account and his well-being and his whatever that's called.
Algorithmic,
Liability.
whatever.
No,
Yeah, but
your
the-
livelihood.
Was it
Yeah.
the circumcision thing that like fucked your thing? It was the blue-haired thing,
Both
right?
of them are like
Both for
get
Instagram.
flagged.
I mean, everything I've ever done on Instagram
Yeah.
for sure. It's so weird because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't tout myself as an edgelord. I don't tout myself as like cutting edge or anything like that. I'm a bit filthy, but that's clearly just who I am as a human being. And for whatever reason, my my comedy and the internet is very easy to be like, get out of here, which is weird because it stands for nothing. Like I have no like political affiliation, or so I seem, or so I think.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it just like. It's one of those that they feel comfortable.
I had one recently with the,
suppressing.
I had one recently that I had to take down on Twitter with the Disney, where I said anyone who likes a Disney World as an adult has been molested.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's true.
it's like 100% accurate.
I
And then I
agree.
named Brendan. I was like, Brendan loves Disney, molested. You know?
Yeah.
And I was sending Nicole those tweets. Every single person that was going crazy, they not only
realized how right you are, and he just kept going.
And then I just went to my happy place, Epcot.
And every single person that was retweeting was like had bunny ears or like the picture of
the-
Disney World in there. They had the
Little
mouse ears
crown in between the mouse ears.
and they're all like, a mouseketeer in training. Every single person was like, it'd be one thing if they were like, how dare this guy make fun of that? But they all keyed in on the molestation part, which probably obviously hurt them tremendously. Where they go, how dare these people say that? And they go, I am a victim of sexual abuse. I was like, you're just proving my point. I'm not saying you can't like it. I'm just saying if you like it, molest it. And like, and every
saying that you were touched.
and so
I'm
many-
actually standing in line at Splash Mountain right now, and I cannot believe that you're talking about my
Yeah,
molestation.
and every single person that was retweeting it, it had like 7 in like 1 hour that of all like people, and like one dude with some followers started being like, we're gonna show him fucking, and then they started, and then it's like, then they go to the YouTube channel and they thumbs down it, and then they fuck, because when people are nuts like that, it's like they go to every
motivated.
outlet,
Yeah,
and
they're motivated.
and also the time that that someone someone on YouTube put up my like the popcorn
that's
video, and then I was like,
Oh,
hey
yeah.
dude, can you credit me? And then he didn't write back for 3 weeks. So then I click the thing that takes it down or gives him a strike. And then he reached out to me. He was like, hey, man, like, I don't want you to put a strike on my thing. And he was like, I'll pay you money. And I go, sure, you can give me money for it, but I want to be credited. And then he paid me money for it and then made a response video being like, I got extorted by a guy who gave me a
I forgot
strike.
about
And
that.
I was like, that's not
in
what.
the end,
and-
they kind of doxed you a little bit.
Not kind of, absolutely did. It got me like a couple hundred thumbs downs on my videos and like probably about 125 comments across my videos and my stand-up special
Oh my
of being like,
God.
this guy sucks because
That's
he wouldn't
terrifying.
he hurt this poor kid. So it's like, it's those things where you're like, no publicity is bad publicity. It's like, oh, but there very much is, especially on the internet when it's like, if you're not famous enough to absorb all the negativity or have the massive crazy fan base that like if someone posts something negative on a Schultz video, there's immediately 100 comments trashing. Same with Lewis. If someone posts on one of theirs things, it's like, fuck this guy. They have an army to attack them right afterwards. We have a small village.
That's right. This is on you guys.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to become more insane.
Moral of the story.
Super into us.
Moral of the story, you guys need to be way more racist
You guys got to go to the corners of the internet and defend us at every
to
cost.
the death.
At all costs.
I definitely learned that from the Louis J. Gomez school of retweeting the people that shit on you and just sending the 3 or 4 people that will be like, you're fucking, are you kidding?
Now,
You know?
now with your fucking army of small dicks,
Anybody-
everybody's like,
I know.
how dare you take down our king?
I'm like,
Your force.
I'm like, my force, my force. So everybody stay
It's like
away.
holding up the wall.
Yes. I'm building. No, that was me building more of my empire.
my 4-inch empire.
4-inch empire.
Yeah, 4 inches at a time.
Yeah. We come in full force.
You stink.
I will say I know it's just what you said, but
It's today's clip. No, because you see in mine, I said full before.
Yeah. I added a word that was also said by the other guy.
I made it wordier, you see.
no, I added a face and a sound, and I Farley'd your spade up. You know what I mean? Someone's got it.
Is that what you think you do? I said to
In this
Brendan before
moment,
I go,
yes.
I would love to see
In this moment right now, yes.
just a day through Brendan's eyes of where he's like, what he thinks
Well,
is
that's like the
happening.
episode of Always Sunny where they just do it from Frank's perspective.
Yeah. All right, what's the next question?
Yeah. The next question is, this is from Nate Rubin.
Nate,
Hair in your
Love your sandwich.
hair in your food, eat or return. I think this is an easy one.
depends on so many factors. Where the meal is, what the meal is, how long. If I get a sizzling, medium rare steak from Luger's and there's a single hair on top of it,
Yeah.
I'm eating the steak. If it is,
I'm eating the hair.
if it's a lasagna
Part of it.
or
I'm
some, if it's some lasagna where the first bite I have to pull out this giant long hair, then no, I'm sending it back. Depends how long the hair is, really.
I have always been so wildly disgusted in any type of hair and food and stuff like that. And it like even just that act of pulling it out of your mouth, that made me, there was a physical response.
Yeah.
But I've always taken it out, bitched and complained, and then eaten everything on my plate.
Yeah.
Every single time. Like I'll complain. I'll take that as a green light to have all my complaints heard for the rest of the night, but I'll never send it back. I don't think I've ever sent a single meal back.
No. I'll
It takes
bitch
a lot
about
for
it,
me to
but
do.
then I'll
I mean,
keep
you
eating
really
it.
got to fuck up a meal for me to send it back. And then when you do, I still like apologize, but I get mad for even apologizing.
Yeah, you go,
at
I'm
them.
sorry, but you ruined this.
Yeah.
Well, because oftentimes, which is odd, but I think it's because the waiter has to then face the cook who is likely mentally ill. But they get defensive. They're like, oh, like, or give like a tone where you're
Well, it's
just
like
like,
the time
you're
with
afraid they're
Erica
gonna
where they
spit in
told
it.
they told Erica that she didn't order what she ordered,
right.
and then they gave her the wrong order, and she was like, "Oh no, I actually ordered the Zuba de Peche, not the Fruit de Mar."
Zuba de Peche.
And then they go, yeah. She goes, no. She goes, I'll take it back for you, but that is what you ordered. And she goes, it isn't because I don't eat this. I've never eaten that. I've never ordered this in my life. This I order all the time. So I looked at the menu before I got here and knew this was what I was gonna get. So I definitely was ordering Super Depeche. And she's like, okay. She's like, for sure, I can definitely get you a new one. You did order it though. Like I heard it, and we were like, there was 4 of us there. We're like, she didn't. She didn't order it, and they're like, no, it's fine. I'll do it. It's just that's what she ordered, so that's why it came.
Dude,
and it's
man,
she argued like 4 times. She pushed
Where
back.
were you?
on
What
it.
restaurant?
At this
Olive
Italian
Garden?
restaurant, Olive Garden. Cool. It's
Is that your restaurant together?
no.
Yeah. What the fuck?
We have our own.
Is that
we
your place?
We have our own jokes.
Yeah, you have your own inside jokes.
We found out on Snarky on yesterday's episode of Snarky that Nicole goes to Olive Garden alone on her birthday and eats breadsticks
That's
and soup
insane.
alone every single year.
Oh my
and
God.
says that she loves the Olive Garden because it's great.
I 100% understand why you own a rat.
Yeah.
That sounds like if a rat was a human.
Yeah.
That's what they would do. They'd go to Olive Garden and
the people. Did you see the other comment? People are very like, Nicole is now a real ass dude. Someone called you for being like, I swear to God, that was one of the comments. Is they were like, Nicole, I've learned so much about her through this way.
I'm just
disgusted.
Yeah, the walk through the
it's
Burger
not
King drive-through
disgusted.
guy.
I'm not disgusted. I'm just
Sad,
Envious?
right? Isn't it
Envious?
sad?
I'm scared because
I'm scared.
there's like things to you that like that. I never met a person that does that. So
alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
goes to Olive Garden. Oh, but it's not even that. It's like on
You don't
your
even let your
birthday.
boyfriend come?
Well, I don't go.
He's actually the waiter.
I didn't try.
Are we gonna go to Olive Garden on your birthday?
Can we come?
Big party?
I would, but
What? Who's gonna say
Who's
no?
some of us?
we're just going.
it might act.
If we're just go, first off, I am above Olive Garden, but I will go so that you're not alone again. It
Above
can't be.
Olive Garden.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, you are not.
Absolutely.
You are a breadstick.
Yeah. Brendan was dying to eat me right now.
Hey,
Honestly,
I
I got hungry. there.
yeah, breadsticks, salty,
fuck?
sweet, soft.
I
I will go and just have breadsticks. Yeah, I'm not getting the
I'll
fucking
go and get
microwave chicken par.
and get the piba chijij.
But that's like exactly that's like the exact scene from Entourage with the Harvey Weinstein guy, like
Yeah.
the equivalent to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Where the guy goes, "All right, vodka cranberry," and he's like, "I didn't order vodka cranberry," and he's like, "Yes, you did," and he's
Yeah.
like, "I've never in my life
Yeah.
ordered vodka cranberry."
That's really
Yeah.
good.
Impression. But yeah, I mean that type of thing. I have been in restaurants before where I've requested a new waiter. Where like somebody was such a twat to me and I was like, listen, so far you're ruining my night and I need somebody else to be here because I don't think that we're at the point where we can't come back from this.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking pissed.
What happened there?
They sent a new waiter. 'Cause I
No,
was
like what caused that?
that similar shit to that, where it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like a cunty tone. I understand the stress of working in a restaurant. I completely empathize and get it. But I also understand what it's like to try to earn tips through working. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
if you're gonna be a cunt, there are repercussions to that. Your bottom line is immediately impacted because of your attitude. So I just like, especially with my anger, I was just like,
Of course.
I can't go to jail, so please get someone else.
Yeah.
yeah.
My God. I went to the Dallas BBQs with Peter Ravello, and we're sitting there, and this is how Peter handled a situation like this, which kind of blew my mind.
It's also funny. He's at a Dallas barbecue. He's like vegan.
He's a vegetarian.
Oh, he's not vegan.
Oh, he might be vegan.
It's like the worst place in
Yeah.
America
What do you have,
to be.
cornbread?
He had a salad. He ordered a salad, and the salad came, and there was a either a toenail or
Oh, I
a
remember.
nail in the food.
With the cheese underneath the fucking attached
Not only
to it.
did
It's
he
so gross,
was it
dude.
in the salad, but this is how he found out by reaching into his mouth.
It smelled like. It smelled,
and pulling
and he
a
goes,
nail
I specifically
out.
asked for no cheese on this. on this salad.
yeah.
Why does it smell like Reggiano?
And the waiter came over.
I taste the sharpness of the toe.
He put it on a plate like it fucking like it was a turkey bone. And then the waiter came over. And I was going, dude, should we leave? Are you going to flip out? What's going on? Like, are you going to fucking barf? The waiter came over and he just went, I'm giving this back. There was a nail in it. And they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they were like, do you want another one? And he was like, no, I'm done eating today. And they were like,
For the next 3 months.
Yeah, they were like, oh, okay. Do you want anything? And he went, no, I'm good. Thank you very much. They left and they brought us back like a cookie or something. So then he just watched me go. I was just like, oh, that sucks. Eating my ribs. That's so gross, dude.
That was like when I was.
I would be like, yeah, I'd like this comped, please.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he didn't do you a solid.
No.
No.
When Eric and I went
This
to
was a couple years
Portland, it
ago.
was like that was when I got that Bloody Mary that had the crushed ice in it. And then I took one sip and was like,
was glass.
I bit down and there was chunks of glass in my mouth, and I was like,
Oh my
Who's
God.
kidding?
and I like bit the glass and was like, and then I pulled out with all of the shaved ice was pieces of glass in my mouth that I was chewing, and I was like, oh my God. And that was like and I go, I already swallowed. I was like, did I swallow some? Like I was like, I might have to go to the hospital, and they were like, we're so sorry, we'll give you another Bloody Mary. I go, no. I go, you definitely have broken glass in your ice machine, so clean that out, and also get me like a beer that you pop the top on and comp this, and they comped like 3 things, but still
I
wasn't.
love Karen Feeney.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
best.
Well, I just
Karen
did
Feeney.
what you just said.
I know.
He should have done.
Yeah.
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 It's the
That's not
best.
Karen. That's what you should be doing.
Well, don't
Right.
take it as a slur. It's just like
Karen is a slur.
now. it
Sure.
is.
If I called you Fatty Boom Batty, would you take it personally?
I like that. That should be a rap name.
I think that
Oh,
probably
Boom
is.
Batty, make the reps clapping.
Well, no, because I've lost weight, so I wouldn't take it personally. Anyway.
Let's go to any other question. I can't.
Look
do
at your
this.
phone. I can't do it more subtly anymore. I keep going like this to Nicole, and she's like,
This one comes from Muthani,
I'm a fan.
OG listener. The holidays are awesome. Who do you least like to see at this loving time? And then he has got another question too, so.
who do you least like to see?
I don't see who I least like to see.
Yeah, I'm past that part of my life, I think.
Yeah.
Who do I least like to see?
When's the last time?
Comedians that come out of from the fucking under earth when COVID happened, and they haven't done comedy in years.
Yeah, that was weird to see people that you haven't seen since like 3 years in, and they're like, "What's up, man? I got a spot," and it's like, "Oh,
I'm one of you again."
This is after the holidays.
No,
saying?
this was during
During the holidays.
Omnicrons
Oh,
or
yeah.
the big spike here in New York specifically.
yeah.
And comics were getting picked off. And then, it was like, it's like the NBA. Like all of a sudden fucking Joe Johnson is 40 years old and he's got a contract in the NBA. And you're like, what? And then all of a sudden you look over and you're like, I haven't seen you since fucking 09.
Yeah.
Speaking of Omicron really fast, I think on this podcast, and I'm realizing now, I think it was a Patreon episode, when Omicron first came out, we were joking about it and we were saying, I think we called it we were calling it Omnicron because we were like, one of us was like, oh, it's omnipresent. It's always going to be here. So I've been saying Omnicron.
Me too. I only say it's Omnicron.
I've been saying Omnicron, and someone DM me, and they're like, hey, just a heads up. Like, is there like a joke? Did I miss a joke with the Omnicron thing? Because like, you've been saying Omnicron a lot on Snarky, and it's called Omicron. And I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, I thought I said it on Snarky. Maybe I said it on one of the other podcasts. And she was like, oh, good, glad. Because like, you sounded like really dumb. And I'm like, oh. And she's like, glad I figured it out, because I was really like,
I call it like
yikes.
Amicrams. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
dignify it with its right
barely
name.
falling
Fuck
out of my
that.
mouth when I
don't
talk
give
about
a
it.
shit.
Omicron. I think it's Omicron, right?
Amicrams.
What I give a shit about is our 5-star
Handy
reviews,
cramps.
and I hope that you
Whoa.
leave one and tell some friends about the show, and keep spreading the word. I mean,
Yeah.
we just hit our nice little new threshold on YouTube. We can
YouTube's
monetize
going
now
up.
and stuff like that. So thank you everybody who's watching on YouTube as
Hell
well.
yeah.
We're recording today from Stand Up Labs, but we'll be back in studio next week. But honestly, I kind of dig this vibe here.
I
as
like the
well.
backdrop. It's also the backdrop for our Patreon episodes, which is patreon.com/scenariopod. If you love the show, we do an additional bonus episode that's similar to the structure of this show, a bit looser. A bit more wild because it's behind a paywall. And then on Fridays, we do a Blunts with the Boys show where it's similar to Irish Goodbye. A lot of storytelling, a lot of inside baseball comedy, more or less like that type of stuff. Very fun, and that's probably the favorite show on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Then we got all of our bonus individual content. Sag Daddy to God / Fatty Boom Batty just put up a hip hop, a rap song, which is fantastic. Feed Dog puts up his bonus section from Snarky. Mike Takes Edibles goes up there. We're doing I'm doing a new poker episode with Ari Shafir. I'm filming that next week, which is going to be very exciting, and that's going up there. And a ton of shit. I'll Fight You with Mike Cannon is just about to come out, so that's exciting. And we got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, follow me
that
on
is cooking.
Twitch. Follow both of me and Feeney on Twitch, Sags to Riches and NY Freshmaker.
Hold on. My special, February 18th.
Yes.
That is what I'm mostly pumping. I'm doing a bunch of road leading up to it. So if you live, this is not live, so Boston has passed. If you live in Cleveland or Holland, Michigan or Grand Rapids or Detroit, come watch me work out and run the hour right before I film it. February 18th, Triad Theater, New York City. We are over halfway sold for both shows. So keep pressing that. Keep buying tickets. If you live in the area, Pennsylvania, Jersey, whatever, make it a motherfucking trip. Come out. Be a fan. Support this goddamn thing.
And
I'm
we're
putting
all
a
gonna
lot
be
of
there.
my own money into it. So really need it to pop. And let's do that. Let's sell it out. MikeCannonComedy.com for tickets.
Yeah, just come to the special and see Mike live, because I will also be there.
So, yeah.
I'm having such a good time, man. I feel so fucking good about and like hanging out with you on the road and people coming up and saying we love the show and everything. It's just a really good time right now.
And in March, you get to see all three of us in where?
Oh, yeah.
The
Emaus.
Pennsylvania, Emaus Theater. We're doing stand-up and a Here's the Scenario.
Tickets are on sale.
Tickets are on sale. Again, that's at any of our websites. Probably not Brendan's, but MikeFeeneyComedy.com.
I think it's on my website.
Go to and for me, just go to twitch.tv/nyfreshmaker. I've been kicking up the streams recently. I've been streaming a lot with Butterly and Gomez, and it's so fun. It's just such a good time. So a lot of new fans over there. So come hang out on that. Come watch. If you never watch someone play video games, watch comedians play video games. It's very fun. Or even if you don't enjoy the video games, you're still enjoying it's a podcast where we're also doing shit. You know?
Yeah.
So it's
exactly what it is.
It's a very
Same
stimulated.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. So get on there, twitch.tv/nyfreshmaker.
It's the future.
It's a video. All right. Final question from the listeners comes from Muthani. And we might have answered this already, but what is your worst restaurant experience or embarrassing, not including the food?
I mean, I just described my glass eating one is pretty up there in
That's
terms of
pretty
worst
rough, man.
experience.
Yeah, that is pretty rough.
I
mean,
was-
does
I
that
was-
mean-
I was fucked up for the rest of the day on that?
Yeah, I
Oh
don't
my
know. That would have
God.
fucked me up for years to come.
I'm not. I'll tell you this: I'm not drinking things with shaved ice in it anymore.
How was the
'Cause I'll never know.
shit that, like, when you shit,
Did you?
Did it
what,
hurt?
Did it sparkle?
did it, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
Did it
fine.
glint?
I took like a small. It was like literally my first sip of it, so I had a little bit that I swallowed, and then the rest of my mouth was just. It was a mixture of crushed ice and glass,
Did
so
you
I didn't
cut
know
yourself?
what was what.
Did you-
I
what did
didn't
it-
because I chomped on the glass, so it felt like biting on a nail. It there's no give to it at all. I thought I broke my tooth, and then I was worried it was gonna. I was like, what is in my mouth? I thought it was a piece of like a stick or something.
Like a
And
bone.
I pull, yeah, bow, and I pull it out, and it's just fucking a triangle dagger of glass. I can't believe it didn't cut my mouth open.
Lucky.
Yeah, they kept being like, "We're so sorry," and it was like this very, very hoity-toity, high-end like seafood place on the water that's like known and like has a long wait to get in there. So even after all that, it was like some Dungeness crab thing that was like $42 for this little tiny 3-bite thing, and all of that. And then they were so like you could tell they were so thrown because they're just
God, that's so fucking awful.
yeah, it felt terrible.
I mean, I have a lot of bad restaurant experiences from both sides of the table as a waiter, as a patron. I remember when I was 4 and we were in Amish country. I think I've mentioned this, but I got us kicked out, or not kicked out, but we had to leave like 4 restaurants in a row because I was just such a whirling dervish piece of shit. Like just could not be
Whirling
contained,
dervish
running
piece
up
of
to other
shit.
table, like grabbing bread, eating off of like. My parents were just like, "What the fuck? This
Oh
kid
my
is retarded."
God.
And then I remember this distinctly. It's one of my earliest as a full family memories. Like when my little sister was like probably 3, and we were eating at the food court of the Nanuet Mall, I think, maybe even Newburgh Mall, which is terrifying. But as a family, we were having like Boston Market or something like that. My younger sister wasn't feeling well, and all 5 of us just kind of sat down at this, like weird white, tables with the 4 seats that are locked in, and we're trying to like position everything. And my young sister just goes, "I don't feel," and
Oh
just
my God.
vomits 17 gallons of like just every it looked like a Thanksgiving meal, like stuffing, gravy, everything just all over this table. And my parents I remember my dad picking up the tray as vomit was like cascading
Oh
off
my
the side of the
God.
tray because it was so much. And they're like, let's go. Trying to usher all 3 of us out of this fucking mall while 700 Puerto Rican families were like looking over, just like, what the hell is happening over there?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
It's the worst.
Yeah, that's fucking. It's gross when you're like, I've had that feeling of like, am I? And then there's
can't.
no time to even go. I might be.
Yeah.
I've had, you ever had that thing too where it's like, and I've had that, this is definitely from like, if you're way too drunk and you get the spins and that moment of like when you do that, am I gonna, and then you try to hold and it goes like,
Yeah.
like your
Oh.
cheeks just
Oh my
immediately are like
God.
so full. And then a second wave comes and you're like, I got 1 to 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's like a
I've done that
pimple.
where I did the cover thing and I've like sprayed
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of the side of that thing. Like at this party, I remember I was outside of a bar and I was standing there waiting for a cab and I felt that. I was like, "Whoop," and I just went to cover my mouth and I just went and it just sprayed up, like up out of the top of my mouth. And I'm standing there with like 4 people that I'm supposed to share a cab with. And they're like, dude, call a separate cab.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I remember when I went to a house party with Erica in Connecticut for like some of her friends and we were drinking there. And like, I was at that point, I only drank like liquor. Like, and basically it was like Southern Comfort and Jaeger, just like the worst. But that was like the only thing I would drink. And I would play like beer pong with like Miller Lights. That was the only beer that I drank. And their thing, because they were a little bit older, they were like a couple years older than us. Their thing was like Irish car bombs. And that was like every hour they were doing one. And I didn't drink Guinness, I didn't drink Jameson, I didn't drink Bailey's. And so like I was like, this is gonna be really tough for me. And we do it, and I
Oh my
Oh
pound the whole
God.
thing and I put
So
it down,
good,
and
though.
everyone's doing the like burps and the like, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm getting that like sour taste in the back of my throat. And I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, all right, back to the beer pong table. And I'm like, I'm going to go outside for a second. And then I was like, threw up so much and then came back in. And I literally am like teary eyed. And I come back. I threw up in snow. I remember that there was so much snow. I threw up right off the little like the steps to the balcony that go out to the backyard. And I'm like, man, if anybody comes outside, they're just going to see this brown, black fucking streak. And I walked back in. And Erica was like, did you just throw up? And I was like, yeah. And then it felt like not even a minute later, they were like, line him up. And then I did another car bomb.
Did you puke from that?
And I threw up a second time. I just kept doing it, throwing up, doing it, throwing up, doing it, throwing up, and retaining just a little bit of it and getting more drunk each
Classic
time.
kid just being like, I don't know why I keep throwing up.
I knew why, but I was not gonna not do it. It's like you're especially during that time, you're like in your competitive drinking phases. Plus, it's like Erica's like drinking friends from back home. So there's like this, like like when she came to my friend's house for like New Year's, we were all like, my buddy lined up 7 shots of Hypnotic and did them all at once. You know, it just is like blue Gatorade. So then we're all like, we'll do shots. I'll do shots. Like it just becomes this like, you know, when you're 19 to 22.
Shots and cocaine are the quickest way to throw up. Yeah. I remember at Nicole, when she lived with her friend from college up on 96th Street, we would pregame there. That was, everybody, that's when I actually like went out to clubs and bars sometimes. Like I'd try to, And I remember one time in particular, we were all doing coke in the bathroom, in small little bathroom, but we're edging in, doing a line, and then kind of like standing there looking in the mirror for a minute. And it goes somebody, me, and I do a line and then go and throw up in the sink with all of those people around. And then I like tried to walk out, and her roommate was like, you gotta clean this up, man.
At least turn the faucet on.
I didn't even think of that. Like I was just in so weird sorts. I had to get the fuck out of there.
I was once hanging out with, it was like a rainy day, and I had just bought Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs on DVD, and I was like, let's go to Justin's house. We'll watch both of these. I was taking like my mom's oxy, it wasn't Oxycontin, it was
you poor mom's walking
oxycodone.
around with a hurt back and you're just like numbed out on your friend's couch.
Yeah. So I was taking like oxycodone too. And then we were all like in the basement, and my buddy Justin was like, I also have this Dilaudid.
That's what people take post C-section.
Yeah.
That's so intense.
Bad.
That's so intense.
Very intense. And I was also on basically Percocet. So I was trying to die. And I took the Dilaudid and I fucking it was like the beginning of Pulp Fiction. It was like black, and then it's like the end of Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, it was the end of Reservoir Dogs. And I was like, I missed both of those movies. I'm so fucked up. I was like, I have to go home. Where's my keys? But I went into the bathroom and I was like, I have to like heroin puke. And I just was looking, his bathroom was like mirror here, sink here, and then next to it was like the toilet, and there was that little wall. And I just see myself in the mirror and I start puking all over the sink, and I go,
you know what women feel now.
Yeah, and that was before the drugs. I went,
ew, uggo.
And I ran to the toilet to puke, but the whole time I'm puking, so there's a trail from the sink to the toilet, and I'm puking on the toilet, but the seat's down, so I'm puking on top of the seat, and I go,
I have been there, sister.
I had a quick thing where I went, who cares? It's already covered in puke. But then I went, no. Raise the fucking thing. So I went, boo, as quick as I can. Got all over the walls.
Oh, my God.
Puke all over into the toilet. It's brutal. I flush. And then I spend like what felt like it was either 10 or 40,000 minutes cleaning up with like a towel that I didn't know, one of his towels, his family towels that I didn't know what to do with after. So I'm just cleaning it up.
To burn it.
I'm cleaning the walls. Yeah, I bring it with me in the car.
You cannot put it anywhere in their house. I've done the same thing.
No.
Yeah.
And I cleaned it. I told my friend, who was the only one, I was like, sorry,
You
blah, blah, blah.
think you cleaned it? Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah,
Exactly.
dude. Every time I'm fucked up or was fucked up and I
Exactly.
throw up and you think you're like, I just forensically cleaned that bathroom.
Yeah. I
You gotta check
left.
underneath the where the toilet seat crack
I've never
is.
checked anywhere.
Yeah.
I've looked like this and been like, it's clean. And I walk out.
I left, and the next day, my buddy texts me, and he was like, dude, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. I was like, sorry. I hope I cleaned it. He went, you did not clean it. He's like, I had to clean that. He was like, it was on the fucking ceiling, dude. From me going like this
Oh my
with the thing, so like
God.
hit the ceiling.
It's so funny because I have my buddy Billy almost got in the almost had the exact same experience where we were at my buddy's house. We were having a Halloween costume party, and we were all out in the backyard like drinking and all that other stuff. And he was dressed as the Geico caveman, and he gets like drunk so easily. And I think he had like 9 to 11 drinks, and he's
Just making actual caveman noises.
dude.
Yeah,
He's almost like
yeah.
blacked out after one drink, and I think he had like a dozen. And he was so fucked up that he was trying to throw up in the backyard initially, and he like slipped and fell into dog shit, into like uncleaned recent dog shit,
Oh my
and then
God.
tracked that in through my buddy's house into the bathroom, and then did everything that you just did. And I remember leaving him and his girlfriend. I like peeked in the bathroom because he was throwing up for like hours in there, and I go peek in there and I go, all right, buddy, we're taking off. And he's just like head in the toilet, puke everywhere. It smells like puke and dog shit. And his girlfriend is just rubbing his back, going like, just trying to look away and going
Oh
like,
my
have a good night, guys.
Oh my God.
But I loved drunk puke. Drunk puke is the best
Drunk
because it
puke's the
doesn't
best,
hurt
and
at
then you're
all.
like, I'm
Well, the
Yeah.
Billy Bob puke and rally. That I've done
Yeah.
that before, where you just go outside and it's a dream situation. It's like shitting with no wipe.
Yeah.
You just run outside and you're like, bah! And it's a clean fire, and then you're
great.
like, give me 700 beers. I'm fucking
it's the
back.
best. Well, that's how I felt with the Mike Takes Edibles. As soon as I puked, I was like, can we take more edibles? But I've also been the person who's like taking care of in high school, my girlfriend Dervla.
Dervy Dervs, which if you're a Patreon
Dervy
member,
Dervs.
if you're a Patreon member, you know exactly who we're talking about.
Yeah. So we go to my buddy Luke's house, and he's having a big party, and like she gets fucking hammered, and her dad already hates me, and
She
and
put
he-
the in Dervla.
yeah, she put the exactly. I almost just said your thing.
I
again.
really
I'm learning.
pressured Nicole into laughing at that because I
She's now
knew
on
you
her
guys
phone.
weren't, and I just looked at her and I was like, affirm.
Yeah. So she's like hammered to a point where I'm going like, just stop being this drunk, because she's
Yeah.
like. You know, like
There
she's
is
like
that moment-
fucking dead,
there is that
dude. And
moment-
I'm like, her dad's gonna kill me.
More like Deadla.
There's that moment when you're so drunk and you throw up and you just deplete all of your energy, and you're just like, I don't care where I am. I need to just
Yeah.
close my eyes for
Yeah.
a few
You're
minutes.
not even tensing a single muscle.
No.
And
You're just
her dad was like literally the guy that was like, he was from India, and he was so strict, and he was like, have her back by 11. And like, we had been dating for a while. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? So it's already 10:45, and
she's unfixed eyes.
she is not ready to go home. And that's like, I'm like, the priority here is like, I don't know. I was like, okay.
Kids are such fucking idiots.
Such
because it's like,
idiots.
oh, I got to be home by 11, so like 10:43, I'll stop drinking, and that should be good.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
And so she's like out of it. Everybody's like, is she okay? I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get her home. So like, I finally, and it's one of those where it's like, we gotta go. This is like 10:45. This is like 10:45. I'm like, we gotta go. You gotta go home. And she's not moving at all. And then 10 minutes goes by, and I go, we gotta go. Like, it's 10:55. We have to go back. And she was like, 10:55. Boom, gets up, fucking gets to the, she's been puking this entire
Yeah.
time. Gets to the car. I'm also like on the verge of a blackout. So
Keys in hand, like,
yeah. It's then Billy Foods. We gotta go back home. So
wearing all the rubber bracelets from your dead friends.
I
from
have
drunk driving accidents.
Yeah. I had like an I love boobies Remember those? Remember the I love boobies?
Dude, the
thing?
amount of
Don't
times
you dare trying to get me to
No,
What do you
co-sign.
that was like
Do
a
you
Warped
remember
Tour thing,
those?
dude. That was like a you were.
I remember the bracelets, but not the I love boobies one. That's a
Nicole
real
remembers,
bowling
though.
for soup fan right there.
Yeah, I fucking love bowling for soup.
I know.
So-
And it plays on your wrist.
yeah, I'm wearing like black and white striped, long sleeve shirts
Your
and
checkered
stuff.
shoes on.
Exactly, Converse.
Yeah.
And I'm driving, and she's fucking like out on the window, and I'm like,
and your head's out the other window.
and I'm
trying
like,
to get cold air.
I'm just thinking about how much her dad is gonna fucking kill me. He already hates my guts.
He just pulls up on the front lawn. Just skids. There's mud from the grass. Hits the window.
We get to a light. We get to a light right by her house. There's no one there, and I just go. I'm
push
like,
her out?
I go, and I open the door, and I puke out the window while I'm driving. And I'm
While
like-
you're driving?
No, while we were at a
Okay.
red light.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious if it was while I drive just the fucking right to my buddy's toilet,
Yeah.
which has the lid on it. And then so I get to her house, and I pull up. And we're sitting in the driveway for maybe 5-10 minutes. And it's like the thing in the backyard. I'm going, get up. You have to get up. You have to get into your house. And she's like, nah. I'm like, we are here. You have to get up and get into your house. And she's like, I can't. Her dad waited up for her every night in their den that she has to pass through. It was so classic. Like he's sitting in darkness, like, where have you been? You know.
Well, Sasheen.
yeah. White Castle. And she knows. She's like slurring, like, I'm gonna have to see my dad. And I go, I've done this 1,000 times. Okay. She's like a new drinker, and I'm like poisoning her. And I go, I've done this 1,000 times. You go through. You just say, I'm tired. Go up. Have a good night. I love you. Go into your bed, and then that's where you can fucking feel the rest of this out.
Uh-huh.
She goes into her house. I don't even have time to leave the driveway.
Pukes on her dad.
I don't have time to leave the driveway. I'm pulling out. He's running out. Why is she drunk? Why is my daughter drunk? Or whatever, Indian accent. What is Indian?
That sounded like you.
Why is she drunk?
Yeah. Let's get Hari whatever to come in
Hari
here. And,
Kondaboblam?
Yeah. She's like, she was drunk. Why
Is
is
that
she
not
so
his name?
drunk?
Kanabalu.
Oh.
Kanabalas.
What'd you tell him? Hari got a
Boblin?
problem?
Hari got a problem with a poo. Hari got a problem with a poo. Man, I wish that happened at the end of the story.
Man, yeah.
Man, I wish that happened because there's more story.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so real quick, he comes out, screams at me, and I'm also drunk, and he's like, you're fucking drunk too? Why is she drunk? I'm like, we just had a couple of drinks. And he's like, and I go, you know what? You've always hated me. What the? Dude, you gotta fix that chair.
I broke it. That's
broke
why.
it?
Yeah, I broke it.
It's missing the wheel.
Oh my God.
Cool.
It's like a baby's arm.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Let's
well,
hope.
at least we don't have to do 2 more shows.
Oh
So
no.
and-
Anyway, so this is where it ends. I go, you've always hated me. And he went, what? He's like, I don't think about you, man. He gave me the Mad Men thing. He gave me the Mad Men thing. And as this is happening, by the way, her whole family hated me. And she had 2 older brothers and 1 younger sister. And her whole family hated me. I think it has to do with my race. Anyway, so as they're yelling at me, and I also had beef with like her first older
Oh,
brother.
and beef is sacred to them.
Yes.
I had beef, which was not blessed.
I had not blessed beef with her brother. And so as this is happening, 2 guys that actively hate me in high school
Yeah.
walk up because they're coming. He lives there, so he's walking up, and the brother goes, "What's the problem?" And I go, "There's no problem." And I'm like, I'm mad at them. And they go inside, and then I went home, and
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
they
They
told
just
my
let you
pa-
drive home.
he told my parents,
That you
Yeah.
were shit-faced driving.
The kid or the dad?
the dad.
And what'd your parents do? Try to talk to you and you
They
just zoned out to
honestly
Eminem?
Yeah.
Just stole more of her pills while they were giving you advice about how to clean your life up. Otherwise,
Brendan in his fucking do-rag under his hat.
Yeah.
Is just like, what, Mom? What?
I was probably wearing a do-rag with a hood over it.
I'm with my shorty Dervla.
yeah. You don't know about love.
my shorty.
They're like,
She's
please,
taller
It's
than
us
me.
against the world, bitch.
Yeah,
they're like, please,
that's me and
Brendan,
my
you don't
bitch.
want to be a 30-year-old guy with blonde hair who does rapping on the side. You gotta change course now.
Fuck you, Mom and Dad. It was never a fad. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Here's the Scenario is Mike Feeney, Mike Cannon, and Brendan Sagalow. Executive producers Robert Kelly and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button Podcast. For more information about the show, visit here'sthescenario.com.
The scenario.